What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. So many things I want to say about this topic. There's one simple factor that you can measure to know whether you are actually being productive enough in relation to your overall capacity. And that is to quantify how much of your time you spend in aggravation or frustration or anger about something. That sounds weird, I know. What does that have to do with productivity? What does that have to do with my capacity? Well, any extra energy that you have that is not used productively tends to be the energy that leaks into aggravation and frustration. So quite literally, the more aggravated, the less productive. The less productive, the more boredom and space to create destruction, and then the more aggravated you will find yourself. It becomes a nice self-fulfilling feedback loop of misery. And a lot of the times, we have done this for so long that this aggravated state is home to us. And we don't know any other way of being. So we find and seek and create aggravation if there isn't any, because we need to find a way home. We are addicted to the way it makes us feel alive and tense. And as uncomfortable as it sounds, because it is home to us, we rather have the uncomfortable familiar than the peaceful state that feels alien to us. And so we create, leave room for, and breed aggravation and drama as a way to give ourselves work to do, to solve for the boredom that we've left room for by the lack of productivity in our lives. Again, this is in relation to you. You may look completely productive to somebody else, but you may have extra capacity. It's very much the old saying, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Your idle hands are used by the devil to do his bidding. Anytime they are not being used in purpose or pursuit towards something meaningful in your life, they are and will be used to create destruction and misery. All of your expression lends itself to either side. Either you use it for a directed purpose or it leaks into destruction. Energy of the system must be used up. You cannot preserve the energy that is set to be expended. We cannot store the energy for tomorrow today. We can only restore it tomorrow. We are restoring beings, not storing beings. You cannot sleep on the weekend for 15 hours to make up for the 2 hours of sleep for every other day. You cannot store up sleep. You cannot store up food. We restore and refresh and reset every day with a constant need for input and output on a daily basis. All of it must be left on the mat today, that day. You cannot leave with it. Which means if there's any extra left over as a difference between what you are directing and what your capacity is, that extra will also need direction, or it will cause your destruction or decay. You cannot couch potato your way out of this problem. And you know how I know that? Because even while you are sitting there, because the things that you are ignoring or not harnessing through the extra capacity of energy within you or the time allotted to you, those things become the soundtrack to your life that repeat over and over again. You, even sitting on your couch, will have thoughts that become neurotic, either repeating from the remorse of what is left undone or repeating violent thoughts of anguish or aggravation against the subject of the week. And I say subject of the week because you will notice this. Your addiction to aggravation will cause you to seek it constantly. And you will notice that, and another way of detecting this tendency, you will notice that somehow you find yourself back in this aggravated state often, but at constantly rotating targets. The faces keep changing. But you're somehow always mad about something or another, or at someone else or another. This is how you know you are off course. It's a quick and dirty, surefire way of detecting whether you are truly doing all that you can, or that your body has the ability and capacity to do more. And you are not meeting that capacity with proper direction. And your lack of direction is manifesting itself through leakage of energy spent in aggravation. If you find yourself having any thoughts of offense against anyone, and you find those thoughts repeat, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, similar feelings of offense, different person now, maybe the same person. Just know that you are living out our tendency to turn bad into worse because of boredom. It's just basic entropy. Laws of thermodynamics. We gravitate to destruction and loss of all productive end when we stop adding conscious energy to the system. It automatically heads towards destruction and zero. Add that to our human ego, and we have the recipe for how exactly we will tailor our destruction. Our self-importance requires that we spend most of our lives offended by someone. And this weakens us even more. Feeling offended by the deeds and misdeeds of our fellow men and women only weakens us. And it is only done in a desperate attempt by your ego to grasp at significance when it feels it doesn't have any. And again, this relates back to unused energy that is not being actualized. And that unused energy indeed is insignificant in the way that you are treating it, in what you are telling it by not directing it or using it. You are telling the extra time that you have, the extra energy that you have, that you are insignificant, that you do not matter. And then it desperately, the ego desperately tries to matter through finding offense, through creating issues, through creating problems that then it maybe finally has a job to solve for. It isn't that you are addicted to aggravation, as in you, the conscious person listening to this, that is trying to wield their personality to actually serve them. It's not you that's addicted. It is the part of you that you are not wielding that then gravitates to this aggravation. So it can get another hit of feeling alive, a jolt to its system to shake it up and activate its defense. You are being used up by the aggravation because you are not using what it is using to create the aggravation in the first place. The energy. You can be more productive. You can do more than what you are doing today with intentionality. Because neuroses is only bred, this aggravation is only bred in the space and room given by your idle mind for it to grow. If you truly don't have space or time to be idle, you will find yourself fully engaged in life without a need to create drama. Only an addiction to active, conscious, purpose-driven achievement can solve for your addiction to aggravation. I love you, family. Stay true, always. See you on the next show.